Welcome in if you are a first time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you to those of you who have liked, subscribed, and booked a personal reading with me. Please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. The message that I received for this reading is how can you be a blessing to the miracles you have manifested that have come to bless you? Right? So this is a combination of sacral energy and also crown energy because there is an element of like deeper understanding and intuitive guidance that is kind of surrounding this element of creation. But again, how can you be a blessing to the miracles that you have manifested that have come to bless you? So, what message do you have for the collective at this time regarding this message? Help me to articulate a clear, concise message in order for it to be received in order to want to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What message do you have for the collective at this time surrounding this message? See, it's that crown chakra energy. It came out first. But it also gives like, look, oracle, crown energy. Although this seems like third eye energy, I read frequencies, not cards. So card says psychic and there's an eye which gives third eye, but in this particular message, it's giving crown energy. One more. The goddess with warriors. Stop it. Stop. 100% crown energy came out on the board first. Okay, so there's definitely a sense of intuitive guidance, right? You pretty much have all of the answers, right, that you need in order to be successful and to do this manifestation just as much justice as it's going to bring you, right? Because there is an element of balance here, right? In one of the readings the other day, there was a message. I'm trying to think which one it was. It may have been the full moon reading. So if you have not seen that reading, there may be a message in there for you. Feel free to check it out if you feel called. But in that reading, there was the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles came out. And it was surrounding the Nine of Cups, where you felt as if you already had everything you needed, right? It almost feels as if like you already perceive yourself to be in the Ten of Pentacles, right? Where you have already kind of worked for the things that you desire and you have kind of fulfilled this sense of desire within yourself where you don't really feel as if you need much more. However, compared to what this blessing, even though you feel as if you're already at the Ten of Pentacles, compared to what this blessing or this manifestation is going to bring you, you are at the Five of Pentacles. So just imagine if you already feel fulfilled and that message is saying that you're at the Five of Pentacles compared to where you will be. Just imagine like all of the things that are going to come within this manifestation, right? The goddess is like someone who has complete power. This is kind of giving like Empress energy, but also High Priestess, where there is kind of like a knowing of the subconscious, where you intuitively feel, right? The Oracle and the Warrior is definitely High Priestess, and you have the Empress here. That is a very powerful energy. That's someone who has the ability to not only manifest or create whatever it is that they desire in life, but it's someone who has a very strong spiritual connection to God, to the life around them, to the world within them, right? There's a very strong connection to the spiritual element within this, right? Where you just kind of have this like knowing of, I don't want to say a cult of knowledge, but I guess that is a term, hidden knowledge, a lot of knowledge within the spiritual realm, right? You have a stronger sense, right, compared to the people around you, right? Some say it's like a sixth sense, but there's almost like it's almost like you see differently. It's not just one. It's all around. You see differently, you hear differently, you feel differently. Like your senses are just on a different frequency. They're not on the physical realm, right? You can hear in the spirit, you can see in the spirit, you can feel in the spirit, you can sense in the spirit, right? So there's like an element of this kind of like trusting your guidance within where you're going, right? Trusting, because if you did not have the proper tools or abilities that you would need to um, do this manifestation justice, then you would not have been able to manifest it to the magnitude in which you have, right? This is not a small manifestation. This is a manifestation that is going to change your perspective, right? It's going to change the way you feel. It's going to change the way you see. It's going to change the way you sense in general, right? It's going to change the way you hear things. It's going to change your level of understanding. It's going to change the way you exist. It's going to change the way you move throughout the day. It's going to change the habits that you choose to exist within, right? It's going to change the relationships and the connections and the bonds that you form, right? It's going to change the rooms that you walk in, right? It's going to change. It's going to change your like your life is getting ready to do a complete 180. But it's almost as if like you have this like you have a very it's like there's like a force behind you, right within you that has really opened you up to bring this manifestation in, for you to be able to see the minor details, right? The attention to details that make the most difference, right? Because you see here, like this, what she has in the middle of her forehead, right? That third eye is what is here. She's seeing the growth, she's seeing the expansion, she's seeing the root of how to um, firmly grasp the concept of the importance and the purpose of this manifestation, right? This is not just something that you have manifested as a level of achievement, right? There is a purpose, a divine purpose connected to this manifestation, right? This is not a blessing that is just going to serve you. It's going to serve others around you. This blessing is going to come through you as a vessel, right? And you are going to receive the benefits by proxy, right? Just because you are existing within that element, right? It's almost as if like something like you are being used as a tool, as a vessel, as a source to bless other people. And because you are that source of that blessing amongst others, you ultimately have to exist within the element of that blessing, right? So this is not something that is going to come through you one time as a source and then it's over, right? This is a continuous, this is a lifelong journey, right? This is a new path that you're getting ready to take and move forward on as a new portion of your life, right? A new pathway on your journey, right? This is not just like a come and go, right? This is something that is going to stay with you. It's going to become a part of you. It's going to be who you are, right? You're going to have to kind of learn how to exist within this new reality that is going to come from whatever this manifestation is, right? Because again, it's going to require a different level of self identity within you, right? So also watch that solar plexus reading if you have not seen that one as well. The solar plexus and the full moon reading were kind of like a part one and a part two. Um, so definitely watch those if you feel called. Wow, this is such a powerful energy. This is a complete different energy from the reading that I just did. The reading that I just did, it was much more slow paced. It was much more fragmented. The messages seemed more hesitant to come through. There was also like an element of fear surrounding that message within like growing into a certain position. However, this is like more of a spiritual element. It feels more powerful. It feels more intuitive. It feels completely different, right? This one feels very like, how do I put it into words? It feels very forceful. Not like in a sense of like pressure, but in a sense of like power. Clarify psychic, because there's a deeper sense of knowing. There's a different level of understanding that other people don't have, right? And most people don't have the capability or level of understanding that it will take to even grasp what it is that is going to be required of you in order to maintain and sustain the health and the magnitude of this blessing that is coming in for you. But you, it's almost as if this blessing or this manifestation that's coming in for you was tailored specifically for you because you have certain gifts, certain talents, certain achievements, a certain level of drive, a certain level of discernment, a certain level of empathy, a certain level of patience. They're just things that exist within you that most people don't have the power to obtain, right? They don't have the um, grit, so to speak, right? They don't have the determination. They don't have the willingness to learn, right? They don't have that like warrior like spirit. There's a warrior like spirit that exists within you that it's one thing to overcome obstacles, but that warrior energy is just so powerful. It's so powerful. Clarify psychic, Ace of Cups. Mm. With the Ace of Swords, because in the Tower. Mm-hmm. There's something that you know. Again, there's a deeper level of understanding. You have a deeper level of insight of regarding your mind, regarding your emotions, regarding like the balancing and becoming in alignment between the spirit and the physical world. Right? There is a connection that you have between your mind and your emotions, right? There is a certain level of discernment. There's a certain level of knowing, right? The Ace of Swords is the Archangel Michael sort of truth, right? It's someone who comes with the facts, right? Someone who is it also comes with new information. It comes with new ideas, right? And the Ace of Cups is like new love. It also is like an overflow, right? Like a deep understanding of new opportunities surrounding an emotional connection, right? So again, this can be an emotional connection that you have towards this manifestation that's coming in for you. That's going to show you, right? It's going to show you the truth of everything that it's going to show you the truth in which you thought. How can I put this into words? It's going to reveal false truths, is basically what it's saying, right? It's going to tear down anything that you thought was truth but was not of truly of purity, truly of clarity, truly of God, right? Truly of a firm foundation, truly a standing of good morals, right? Good values, good intention, good purpose, right? There is anything that is not of clarity, you have the intuitive guidance, you have the ability to see, right, the truth in things that have the ability to withstand um, over time, right? You have the ability to see within a sense of things that have the ability to how can I put this into words? Remain stable, right? You have a deeper sense of insight. It's almost as if like you can see through something, right? It's one thing to be able to read the room, right? But there's another thing to truly be able to see in the spirit. That's not a gift that everybody truly has the ability to obtain, right? To really be able to see within the spirit, you have to, I don't want to say not acknowledge, but you have to just be able to kind of how can I put that the understanding within that is a whole other video within itself. I'm trying to figure out how to put it like in the simplest terms as to how I'm sensing it, but the way that it's coming through is so like it's like so strong. It's almost as if you have the ability to see things that like for one will like cause turmoil, for one that don't align with what it is that truly encourages growth, truly encourages strength, truly encourages like a deeper sense of knowledge or insight, right? You have the ability to see things for what they are and not what they perceive or themselves to be, right? You also have the ability to kind of reveal certain truths about other people, other situations, other experiences that may not be visible to the people that are existing within those cycles, right? You can see things that other people cannot within the spirit, like within like a like character flaws that people try to hide, or like certain instances of shame that people try to hide, or just like certain elements of traumatic experiences that people kind of try to bury, right? You can see within those elements. It doesn't matter how deep people try to hide them, or it doesn't matter um, how long they have not been acknowledged, you like catch on immediately because there is such a strong connection to you and your insight and your understanding within the spiritual realm, right? There's such a like nothing gets past you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Your senses are like otherworldly, literally. Literally, this is like otherworldly energy. This is not of the physical realm, but this is like divine knowledge, divine intuition, divine guidance, right? You have like such a strong communication and connection to God that He like whispers in your ear consistently, constantly. He's constantly feeding you information, constantly showing you things, right? That other people are not meant to see, right? Because there are certain parts of information or certain understandings that not everybody has the potential and the power to carry on, right? Not everybody has the potential and the power to do certain knowings or certain knowledge. They don't have the ability to do those things justice, right? Because that doesn't just because you know knowledge is power, right? And so to know something means that you have like a certain power. And not everybody handles power in a graceful manner. They don't always handle power in an intentional manner. But you are like God's right hand. God calls on you as one of his strongest warriors, right? Not as in like he pushed you through the most battles, although you did kind of have to experience certain things to kind of strengthen these senses or learning how to trust them and learning how to use them in a more beneficial manner. But you are so like close and so favored and so anointed with these gifts that he like trusts that you will handle it within the correct manner, right? Not using it to intentionally harm others, but to fulfill a certain desire, right? To create overflow in certain areas, to create overflow of growth, of nourishment, right? Of encouragement, right? Of sustenance, of awareness, of understanding, of empathy, right? Of insight, right? It's almost as if like you see people who beg to be seen, right? People who feel ignored, but you like immediately see the things that other people don't. I don't know how else to put that into simpler terms. There's so much coming through. I think I'm going to leave that there. Clarify Oracle, the Two of Swords, the Four of Wands, right? Right, two truths, right? Perspective, reflection. You have clarifying the oracle card with the hermit spiritual knowledge, spiritual insight. You can see within the conscious and the subconscious, right? You can see the way people act within their physical reality and also what's going on within their innermost thoughts. Almost like you can hear people's innermost thoughts. You can see the reflection of you can see the reflection within people that they try to hide, right? You can see the reflection within people that they don't want to be seen, right? Or the parts of them that are calling to be seen, right? This is a general message, so take it how it resonates. It can also resonate within both ways because you see there's like two. There's a reflection, the conscious and the subconscious, right? The reflection, the mirror between these two. You have the ability to see the known and the unknown, the conscious and the subconscious, the physical and the spiritual. You have a deeper sense of knowing, right? The Two of Swords is also like two minds, right? You have like physical knowledge of like um, it's almost like book, like you know how like people say you can only be like book smart or street smart. You have like a combination of both, right? But like book smart, as in like a sense of like spiritual knowledge, like there's like a different level of intelligence to the knowledge that you carry. And it's almost as if you have the ability to show people who they are, right? Not who they perceive themselves to be, but who they are in a spiritual sense, right? Who they are internally, right? The character in which they choose to hide, you reflect that energy back to them immediately. Not as in a sense of like projection, but like when someone shows up in a certain sense, it's almost like you reflect back to them who they are, not who they show up as or who they perceive themselves to be, but you reflect back their true character. You reflect. You're like a mirror, and you also have the ability to see things from multiple perspectives, right? You have the ability to see things from a physical perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from an emotional, from a mental, right? With the Hermit card, there is a strong sense of intuitive guidance, right? You have a deeper sense of knowledge. You have a different connection to the spiritual world. Like with the Hermit card, it almost always comes up to me as like a cloak energy, right? Where it's also as if maybe you don't always show up in who it is as you truly are, right? Because the Hermit card is like a cloaked energy to me, right? It's somebody who um, has a has like so much knowledge, so much intuition, so it's like such a powerful energy that they have to almost have to like cover it in order to protect it in a sense, right? Because the presence in itself is so strong that you almost have to kind of intentionally turn it off or intentionally try to turn it off because even within that cloak energy, it still stands out, right? If everybody around you is dressed normally, you're the only one dressed in a cloak, that does stand out. But there's a reason why you're cloaked, right? There's a reason why, because it's to protect what is underneath, right? Because if you weren't, you would be exposed, right? If you weren't in that cloak energy, other people um how can I put it into words? It's just such a there's just such a like strong presence that you almost have to cover it in order to protect it, so to speak, right? I'm like seeing like a blade, right? For example, right? You don't walk around with a blade out in the open, right? Because it it's just not safe, right, for other people, right? People can get cut unknowingly, right? So you have to cover it within a certain protection and only pull it out when it's necessary, right? That's how I'm like viewing that cloak energy as like it's a sense of protection for you and for the people around you, right? Because sometimes the knowledge is so powerful, sometimes the information is so powerful that everybody around does not have the ability to maintain or sustain that access to that certain information or maintain or to they don't have the ability perceive the presence, right, that you carry, the knowledge, the information that you obtain, right? So in order to protect not only yourself but the people around you, right? The people who may not have the ability to, right? Because not everybody has the skill set or the talents to use a blade or a knife, right? Like certain like samurais go through extensive training in order to learn how to use that sword, right? And so it's kind of like in that same manner, you have like everybody has not experienced such an extensive training in order to handle that information in a way that is beneficial to them, right? Sometimes that information giving people so much access to such power in a way in which they're not able to carry it can do more harm than good. So in order to protect yourself and others, you have to kind of cloak yourself in a way that protects that source. Ah, this is such a powerful energy. This is such a powerful energy. There's so much that like there's so much coming through. Purify the goddess, the page of cups, right? The seven of swords showed itself, the nine of wands, right? With the warrior of cups, right? This is that extensive training I was just talking about. Protecting yourself, knowing how to protect yourself and when to protect yourself, right? Because again, not everybody has the ability to do that information justice. Not everybody has the ability to kind of take that information and not cause harm with it, right? If everybody was just walking around with a sword, there would be a bloodbath because not everybody understands the power that that tool holds, right? That instrument carries. So everybody was just walking around swinging swords of truth. It would not be beneficial to anybody. It would do more harm than good. So you, because you have that certain knowledge, because you have that certain awareness, right? Because you have that specific connection, that specific training, right? You have endured, right? The experiences that has helped you to reach this level of warrior status, right? You got warrior twice here. There's duality. The two of swords, the four wands, warrior, warrior. The psychic card with the ace of swords. There's duality. There's balance. You have the ability to use it when necessary, right? The samurai doesn't just walk around swinging his sword at everybody who doesn't necessarily give him what he wants, right? He uses it for his protection. He uses it to serve the good of the people, to demonstrate balance, to demonstrate protection, to demonstrate security, right? To exude safety and protection, right? It's not just something that you use as a weapon of destruction. You use it as a weapon of protection. There's a difference. Wow, this is such a powerful message. Message this stuff. So let's pull four cards. One card for what we can learn as the major lesson of this message. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And one card for the new cycles and habits we can create to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. This is very much, very powerful energy, right? And so, again, like this is the blessing. Your strength is the blessing. Your power is the blessing. Your talent is the blessing. And how you can do justice is that hermit energy, is that duality energy, knowing how and when to use it, knowing knowing what to express, when to express it, how to express it, who has the ability to handle that information. And again, like you have to be able to kind of um, learn how to be fluid within certain situations, right? Know when to cloak yourself, know when to reveal yourself, and know how to get across certain messages or certain things so that people are able to receive what it is that you are trying to express in that sense, right? So again, it's like there's like a gift or talent or something that you carry. It's going to resonate for each of you differently, but there's maybe a value that you carry, maybe a moral, maybe you have like a certain sense of artistic expression, maybe you have like a certain knowing, you have like a certain level of information, right? You have a certain level of knowledge that you have, but it's not knowledge that everybody has the right to or that they deserve to know, right? Because again, not everybody will take that information and use it for the better. Sometimes people will take information and knowledge and use it to kind of trick or deceive other people with that seven of swords, so on and stuff. Some people will kind of use or pretend to be something else when they don't necessarily carry the true gifts that they try to portray. So you having that sense of intuitive knowledge or that sense of intuitive guidance, right? That is how you can continue to be a blessing to your manifestation. By knowing when to use it, by knowing how to use it, by knowing who to express it to, right? By knowing how to get that message across so that it is palatable for those who are meant to consume it, right? You can't give everybody the same message in the same way and expect them to receive it all in the same way, right? It's almost like the student and the teacher, right? Um, you have to be able to teach to all learning styles, right? Even within the same lesson, you have to teach to each separate learning style, and that is what you have mastered. You've mastered how to get certain things across within a way that each person will be able to receive it to their level of understanding. Purify love. I like don't want to come out of this energy. What message for what we can learn is the major lesson. It feels so divine. Secrets revealed, right? Wounded healer. Because you help people grow, you help people learn with the knowledge that you obtain, with the gifts that you have, with the talent that you have, right? It's something that helps people. It helps them to see who they are. It helps them to feel fulfilled within a sense. It helps them to grow. It helps them to learn, right? And so again, it helps them to like, how could I put this into words? To build a firmer sense of self identity within who they are, right? Within who they are searching. It's like you show people who they're searching for within themselves. That's just two of swords, four of wands, right? You give them insight to the part of them that they feel disconnected from. Mm, wow, there's such a like spiritual element to this message. One card for the opportunities you can create. You heal people in that sense, right? By showing them the parts of them that are begging and crying to be seen, right? And the fact that you can see it immediately almost makes people feel like I'm getting like emotional because that's how it is like coming across. It's almost as if like the way that you see people is so like I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but that's how the energy like that's how it feels. It's very strong, very powerful because there's such a connection to you and it's almost as like you love people the way God loves you, right? It's such a heavenly, such a divine feeling that it almost feels unnatural, And it's so strong and so powerful that it like it evokes so much emotion. Because imagine like someone who's like searching for a part of themselves in other people, right? They're searching. I'm searching for me in this. I'm searching for me in this career path. I'm searching for me in this purpose. I'm searching for me in this person, right? I'm searching for me within this experience. I'm searching to find myself, right? And then like people come across you and it's like you immediately show, like it's like you immediately show people who they are. And that is like you immediately hold that mirror up. You give them knowing, you give them insight to who it is that they are. And depending on who they are, that can be a good or bad thing. It depends on what it is that they are reflecting. One card for what we can for the opportunities we can create around this message. I hope this message reaches whoever it's meant to, because there's such a divine worthiness, right? You just provide other people that opportunity, or other you provide the opportunity and the space for safety, right? You are that sense of security, right? You provide that element of rest, right? People come to you for rest, right? They come to you for truth, they come to you for knowing, they come to you for acknowledgement, right? They come to you to be heard, to be seen, to be felt, right? Because even if they don't verbally express it, you automatically, if there's a frequency, it's not just like, it's not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. So even if it's something that they are aware of or not, you emit that frequency, right? That makes them feel safe, that makes them feel secure, that makes them feel like it's okay to rest, right? Like it's okay to it's like a safety net. You provide like a sense of safety, a sense of security, right? A sense of protection, right? Within the unknown, within the things that they're hiding, within the things that they are seeking within themselves. You help them to find their courage, to find their confidence, to find their sense of identity, right? Again, consciously or subconsciously, right? Mm. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Naked, shame, right? Vulnerability, openness, right? Again, this is that subconscious energy. And that's almost what you automatically reflect, is that subconscious. You don't reflect the conscious, right? You reflect the subconscious. And not everybody is not aware of what it is that they're carrying within the subconscious until they get around you, and you immediately emit that frequency, right? And again, whether that's something that's palatable to them is dependent on who they are, right? Because there's sometimes where people can show up in a way that's not so healthy, right? That's not so secure. And the fact that you immediately reflect that back to them kind of puts like a bad, they automatically reject what it is that you're reflecting, right? Because internally they're reflecting that within them, they're rejecting that within themselves. So when you show up as that reflection within the physical sense, they automatically like shun you. They automatically push you away. There's automatically like a sense of dislike, a sense of um, resistance, right? Resentment sometimes, hesitation, dislike, discouragement, right? Because that is what they are experiencing internally. So when you reflect that back to them externally, it's not palatable to them, right? It's not something that they have the ability to consume in a way that's beneficial to them, because they're unable to do that within themselves. However, when there is somebody who is kind of emitting like a frequency that it's like they're yearning to be seen, they're yearning to feel safe. They're yearning to feel secure, right? Because they have created that sense of safety and security within themselves, right? And then you show up and you automatically reflect that energy back to them. It's almost like it again. I felt emotional a couple when I pulled the Secrets Reveal card, right? Because that is what they automatically feel like. It automatically evokes that emotion from them, right? Because that is what they have been giving out, right? That's what they have been exuding, right? And not returning. But you as the hermit, you as that warrior energy, as the oracle psychic, somebody who has the ability to see within the spirit, you automatically reflect that spiritual sense back to them, and it overpowers them. It evokes something, that emotion within them, that vulnerability, right? They feel seen in the unseen. I hope that makes sense, right? You see the subconscious. You can see in through the subconscious. And not only do you see, but you have such a strong sense of understanding and knowing, right? So not only do you see it, but you know what to do with that information. You know how to heal it, right? You know how to protect it. You know how to care for it, right? You know how to remove it, right? It's not just you having the knowledge, but it's you knowing what to do with it, right? That wisdom. One card for the cycles and habits we can create. This is such a powerful message, and I hope that it reaches who it's meant to. Press the like button if you feel like this message is resonating with you, so it has the ability to. Power, cosmic power, otherworldly power, spiritual power, godlike power. I cannot make this stuff up, y'all, with giving and receiving that balance, right? I did not mean to make this video so long, but this is the message that needed to come out, right? Who is meant for will definitely receive the message that they are meant to receive from this reading, right? Because this is not a message that's meant for everybody. There's such a spiritual element. But again, not everybody will have the ability to consume this information in a way that's beneficial to them, right? The people who are meant to see this will receive what they're meant to receive from it, right? Because again, you have look at just the balance within the sun and the moon and the giving and the receiving. There's balance here. There's equal effort. There's equal give and take. You just have such a gift. That is such a blessing. And I'm not even sure that you truly know how much power you carry, how much knowledge you carry, how much information. It's almost as if you, again, that cloaked energy, that hermit card, it's almost as if you may not, it's like you are aware, but you're not really aware of how like powerful. Like you understand that you have a lot of knowledge, you understand that you have a strong presence, you understand that you have a strong knowing. But I don't think that there's truly like a knowing. I don't think that there's truly like you can't perceive yourself the way other people perceive you, right? And I don't think that you truly have an understanding or knowing of the impact that your presence carries or that your power or your knowledge carries, right? There's a very strong impact, right? It's not just the presence, it's not just the knowledge, it's not just the intuition, it's not just the knowing, it's the impact that it creates that causes so much power, right? It's such a force. Wow. But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know for a fact that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. If you found something in this video that you resonated with, please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.